Hello and welcome. Wanted to make a video about the censorship that is happening on NextDoor. Just another example of tech censorship shaping what people see and how people think. It's particularly scary considering that these technology platforms are the main form of human communication nowadays, and they can alter and influence what we see and what we don't see without our knowledge. So let's take a look at this example from NextDoor. Specifically, they are selectively censoring content that is critical of 5G. This is a Sacramento area NextDoor feed. We are one of the very first 5G cities in the world, and there's been some discussion on the forums about it, and NextDoor has began started to censor content that is critical of 5G. So let's start with the most overt case of censorship. My personal NextDoor account, was temporarily restricted just a few days ago after posting a video of our group's latest city council appearance. About 12 of us went and spoke at city council. I'll put that video in the description. And yeah, in this video, city council absolutely refuses to answer our questions, address any of the issues that we raise. They just ignore us completely. It's pretty mind-blowing. And after that meeting, I posted a video of the meeting, and not long after that, my NextDoor account was suspended. And I contacted NextDoor about this suspension, and this is the response I received. Hi Noah, thanks for contacting us about this issue. We temporarily restricted your NextDoor account after we received a complaint regarding your recent content and found that you had violated our community guidelines on controversial issues, politics, and religion. Here is an example of the content that was brought to our attention. And here's my post that had been up since the beginning of June. Today is July 31st. And for some reason, this post all of a sudden became problematic. Pretty tame post, I would say. We're just explaining the situation of what 5G is. A bunch of cell antennas being installed in our neighborhood, very close to our homes, exposing us to unprecedented levels of radio frequency radiation. It is non-ionizing radiation, so yes, I acknowledge that it does not cause harm by the same mechanism that ionizing radiation causes harm. That is well established, and I am aware of that. But that does not mean that non-ionizing radiation is harmless. Great quick read is this article in The Lancet, one of the most respected and influential medical journals in the world. Very high impact factor. And they discuss the issue of they call planetary electromagnetic pollution. They address some of the problems with the organizations that are in charge of regulating this radiation, as well as their methods of doing so, the safety standards. They go into some of the studies and some of the health effects that have been observed as a result of exposure to radio frequency radiation. And yeah, it's a great read to get into the topic. There is an article out of Switzerland, a recent article out of Switzerland, that, let's go ahead and translate this. Translate me, bro. Article out of Switzerland talking about some of the health problems that residents experienced shortly after 5G antennas were installed near their homes. It mirrors a lot of the symptoms and the circumstances that people here in Sacramento that are making similar claims, similar health problems, basically mirrors our situation almost precisely. It's quite frustrating that this is happening all over the world. But it is also a local issue because it's happening here first. So here's the post, pretty tame. I link to several other additional resources. I don't make any wild claims. I stick to science. Yeah, pretty tame post in my opinion. But according to this administrator, my content violated guidelines. Talking about 5G, I suppose, violates guidelines. But wait, there's more. Let's go to NextDoor and see if there are any other posts about 5G. Oh, but there are. Interesting. Looks like there are a number of posts about 5G. So why is my post problematic when there's so many other posts about 5G? And you see many of these posts are minimizing the negative health effects, the concerns, safety concerns over 5G. These posts seem to be alive and well. Now, there are a couple other posts here that are critical of 5G. Let's take a look at those. And we're going to find some covert censorship going on now. Yes, here's the post. So here we have a post from 2 days ago. This person says, so where did the post go that was titled, City Council Refuses to Address Concerns About 5G? Hey, that's my post. It got deleted. There was info reference that I wanted to refer back to and share. Rabble, rabble. And you can see there are 36 replies to this post. And for some reason, we cannot see the previous replies. Another strange thing I noticed about this post, if you're unfamiliar with the way NextDoor works, the way it works is whenever someone makes a new post or replies to an existing post, that post will be moved to the top of the feed here. At least that is what is supposed to happen. And I'll show you an example of that right after this, but let's test if this post critical of 5G is moved to the top of the news feed as is typical. Well, would you look at that? It was not moved to the top of the post, to the top of the news feed. Interesting. So people can post on that thread, but it will still eventually get buried. under all these other posts. I'm going to go ahead and delete this useless comment. But let's go back to our 5G search. And let's check out this thread. This one is a thread from about 2 weeks ago. And they are saying, "Don't fear the frequency" is the headline of the front page article in Science Times section of today's New York Times. So this is a post downplaying the health effects of 5G and radio frequency radiation. Let's test this one and see what happens. You already know what's going to happen. We all. Back to the main news feed. And would you look at that? I'll be dang. How about that? So I'll go back and delete this, because nobody needs that. And yeah. So one more thing to show you. So we got selective algorithmic manipulation here. This has been talked about on Twitter. This has been talked about on YouTube. It's happening. It's happening on NextDoor as well. So here's another post that was critical of 5G. And you can see that this post was closed the same day it was created. And this post had 12 replies. We can't see these replies either. So clearly, NextDoor is treating some posts some way and other posts other ways. Let's find another pro 5G post. Okay, here's another one. Scientific findings about 5G, not as scary as some make it out to be. It's a critique of the New York Times article here. But yeah, we see that this post is alive and well. Able to see all the replies. Here we go. Here's another post about the New York Times articles, the New York Times coverage on 5G. And again, as you can see, the article is up, it is alive and well. You can see all the replies. If I were to post a reply, I assume it would go to the top. I'm not going to do that. But yeah. NextDoor censorship. Censoring content critical of 5G. Here's the proof. Just another example. How do you feel about companies controlling what you see, what you don't see? How you view the world? How do you like it? I don't like it at all. Let's do something about it. Please sign our petition. We want to protect, preserve individual rights during the 5G expansion. Specifically, what we want is to demand local and federal governments work with telecom companies to create and adopt an opt-out program for individuals that do not want an antenna within 1,000 feet of their home. According to Verizon, 5G technology works very well at ranges of 2,000 to 3,000 feet, and there is therefore no reason to be installing these antennas so close to people who just don't want them. So I respect everyone's desire to have 5G that is aware of the health consequences. It says, I don't care, ain't no radio waves gonna hurt me, give me my 5G. I respect that, I understand that, and hopefully you can respect and understand the people on the other side of the aisle who do not want to be exposed to this risk. We have two 5G antennas outside our home now, and we don't even have 5G service. So it's nothing but lose for us. So please sign our petition. Put the link in the description. Please support our GoFundMe. Protect individual rights during 5G expansion. And please visit our website 5gawarenessnow.com for information about 5G, the science of why it might be harmful, the highlighting the lack of information suggesting that it will be safe, and of course visit our Take Action page to see specifically what you can do to fight for your rights during the 5G expansion. Thank you.